Go ahead and record here. All right, good morning again. Happy Read Across America Day to everybody. All right. So what I'd like you to do um, is find on Summit. Let me share my screen here. All right, find on Summit checkpoint one. So you want to find our class English one. So go over here to your year view where you see all your classes, and then scroll to you see English one. Yes, Philly. Excuse me. And then our project is called Fact or Fiction. That's what you click on. And then we want checkpoint one, which you should all see, identifying theme and selection of evidence. Click this link right here at the top, and then it should bring you to a page that looks like this. And now, if you were following along last class, the top of yours might be already filled out like mine is, okay? If you missed last class and you don't have this part filled in, that's okay. I'm going to go over that again quick this morning. So again, one more time, English 1 is our class, Fact or Fiction is the project. Checkpoint 1 should be at the top right here. Click the link right here, and then it should bring you to this page. So this is where you should be. So once you have this page on your Summit, please let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or tell me that you got it so that I know everybody's in the right spot. Hey, Tech Will. Okay, again, this is where we should be going. Fact or Fiction on Summit for our class, English 1. Checkpoint 1, identifying theme and evidence. Clicking the link right here and bringing us to this page, okay? I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to pull this up. Like I said, when you have it pulled up, please let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me you got it. Tell me that you're there, whatever works. But please let me know you have this pulled up on your end so I know everybody's in the right spot, okay? And again, remember, ladies and gents, progress report's coming out tomorrow, so that means grades are due today. All right. So I've only had one. Actually, no. For this class, I haven't had anybody submit the checkpoint yet. So today is going to be kind of your last day to work on this and get it done before the progress report comes out. So if you don't want to see failing on there, now's the time to be following along. All right, how are we doing? Are we finding this? We have it pulled up. Let me know in the chat when you got it, or you can come off mute and just tell me that you're there. But again, I'd like to see.
Did y'all start this already?
So if you were here last class, then we kind of went over it and I kind of modeled the first one for everyone. That's why I have it done on my end. Um, if you weren't here last class, that's okay. I'm going to go over real quick kind of how we're doing it again, and I will put the link to the YouTube video of last class in the chat so that people can watch. So we did the first part together last class, and then you guys are going to do the second one yourselves. So if you're seeing yours and it doesn't look like mine in the top table, that's okay. That just might mean you weren't here last class when we kind of did it together. All right, so I'll give everybody about another minute or so to pull this up. All right, again, when you have it pulled up, please let me know either in the chat or verbally. Right. If I don't hear from everybody, I have no idea whether we have it up or not. And I want to make sure you guys have it up so you can follow along so that you can get this done today. One more time, I'll show you just real quick again. Find our class on your year view over here. English 1, yes, Philly. Fact or fiction should be the title of the project in blue on the right-hand side by the class. Click that, and then you should get to your overview page. You should see checkpoint 1 right here, identifying theme, selection of evidence, and fiction. And then you click the link at the top, and then it should bring you to a page that looks like this, okay? This is where everybody should be, all right? Tyquil has got it. Thank you for telling me in the chat, all right? How's everybody else doing? Are we finding it? Do we have it pulled up? All right, please let me know. Thank you very much. All right, so ladies and gents, if you have this pulled up, right, you should see these two tables on your checkpoint. Now, again, if you weren't here last class, this first table might be blank, okay? But basically, here is the gist with this checkpoint, okay? We've been talking about theme, and we've been talking about selecting evidence, right? Those of you who have been coming to class should remember completing the theme pre-assessment and the selection of evidence pre-assessment, right? Cool. Right. We did those pre-assessments to kind of, give us a little practice for this. So what you're doing here is you're going to use a story, and I've given you the link to the story right here on the checkpoint, and you're going to fill out this table, okay? You're going to be looking for three things. You're going to be looking for the topic, you're going to be looking for the major supporting details, and you're going to be looking for the theme, all right? Now, we know from when we talked about it in previous classes that when we talk about the theme, we mean what? Can anybody refresh our memory that has been here? And I know we haven't seen each other since last Tuesday because we had off on Friday. So I know it's been a minute here. But anybody who can remember from previous classes or has heard me talk about it before, when we talk about the theme of the story, what are we talking about? What do we mean? Anybody who can tell me in the chat or who can come off mute and let me know?
Can I put all of it in my first one, or am I doing it by myself?
No, Shabria, you can. That's why I have this up here. You can copy this into your first table because we did it together in class. That's the was the whole thing. I was going to tell everybody that in a second here after we finish our review. But yeah, you can copy this into yours if you want to start doing that now, as can anybody else who missed that last class. But who can help me out with that question as we kind of jog our memories here? When we talk about the theme in a story, we're talking about what? You can tell me in the chat, you can come off mute, but and I have my table up here so you can see what I've written for the theme, and that can kind of give you a hint as to what we mean when we say the theme. But every story, especially every fiction story, has a theme. What is a theme? What do we mean? What are we looking for? We've talked about this a little bit, right? So some of us should hopefully remember this. So can anybody help me out here with this? and I'll put it in the chat as well in case people are having trouble hearing me. Like if I told you the theme of The Boy Who Cried Wolf is, to not lie about, being in trouble because people won't believe you when you really are. Or the theme of Goldilocks and the Three Bears is, uh, you know, don't take what doesn't belong to you, or don't, intrude on other people's property, right? The theme of The Tortoise and the Hare is, don't be um, overconfident in yourself, right? What are all of those? What do all those themes have in common? What are they all doing? Anybody who's out there who can help me out, either in the chat or coming off mute. I know we are live out there today, so feel free to help me out.
What was your question? You said, what is the theme?
Yeah, when we talk about the theme, thank you, Nasia. When we talk about the theme, what do we mean? Like, what is a theme as it relates to like a story?
Mm, well, in my words, I feel as though like the theme is basically the moral of the story. Like,
Yep, that's exactly right. The moral of the story, the lesson, the message, something that we are taking away that the author wants us to learn. So that's why I rattled off all those examples of like, okay, in The Tortoise and the Hare, it's don't be overconfident. In Goldilocks and the Three Bears, it's don't intrude on in other people's homes and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so I just put that definition in the chat. So that's kind of what we talked about a little bit last class. And then we read together this story called The Paring Knife. All right. And we kind of filled out this table accordingly. All right. And like I said, I'm going to put the link to the YouTube video of me going over that in the chat so you guys can watch if you're starting to get caught up. But just like Janae just said, the theme is that moral, that message of the story. What is the lesson the author wants us to learn? That's what we're talking about when we're talking about the theme. All right. A theme is different from a topic. Okay. A topic is just kind of, what the story is about. So a topic can be family, a topic can be love, like it is in this example. A topic can be race, topic can be, um, you know, culture, topic can be, a holiday barbecue, whatever it might be. And then the theme is usually what's the lesson we're supposed to learn, about that topic. Okay. So, for example, the topic in this story is love. A man reflects on an argument him and his lover had. That's the topic. Right? That's what it's about. The theme is, you know, the lesson we want to learn about that topic, which is to leave the past behind you. Don't dwell on previous arguments because you just forget about them eventually anyway. All right. And if you weren't here, how we did this is we kind of worked backwards, right? We figured out the topic first, what's the story about? And then we figured out the theme. Okay, what's the lesson that we want to learn? And then once you figure out the theme, you can kind of work backwards and fill in your major supporting details because you can go back and look through the story at, okay, what are the details in this story that help, support this theme, that make it true, right? And that is the way you can kind of work to fill out the second table. And you can use this link right here. So when you click this link, it should take you to a story called Indian Education by Sherman Alexie, all right, where he kind of writes very short kind of snippets of his experience all throughout grade school. Okay. And as you read these, think about, okay, what's the topic? What's the theme? What's the lesson that he wants us to learn? Okay. And then what are the supporting details that support that theme? Right. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to fill all of that out in this table yourself. Okay. And where it says fiction text, you're just going to write the name of the story. So you would write Indian Education by Sherman Alexie, right? And then you continue to fill that out, okay? I'm going to stop my screen share for a second here. Questions on the checkpoint, on what to do, on how to do it, where to find it, anything like that. If you have them, now is the time to ask them, right? Questions about anything, put them in the chat. You can come off mute. If you want to jump into a breakout room and try to catch up one-on-one, you can message me privately in the chat and let me know, and I'll set that up. All right. Anything at all. Okay. All right, ladies and gents, so the link to the class recording on YouTube of our last class where I kind of went over in more detail how to do that first table, I just put in the chat, all right? What I'm also going to do is I'm going to share my screen again and leave that first table up there. So if you want to copy it down into yours, you have that, all right? Hear me say again, all right, I need this turned in by 5 p.m. today because that's when I have to put grades in because progress reports are coming out tomorrow, okay? I currently have it from nobody, right? So that means when I go in to put grades in, everybody's going to be red for this. You can change that today by submitting this to me, right? And I've done the first half for everybody, okay? So if you watch that YouTube recording and kind of get an idea of how to do it, fill in the first half and then do the second table, right? Should be no problem. And that shouldn't take you too long to do, okay? And we still have a good 25 minutes left today, and I'm going to give that time to the rest of you guys to work on this, okay? So questions again about anything we're doing with this checkpoint, right? If you understand what you need to do for this checkpoint, I want you to give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat right now, please. I'd like to see one of those from everybody before we wrap up here today. If you're unsure, you can give me a thumbs down or a no. You can message me privately if you don't want to put it to everybody, and then maybe we can chat a little bit. But if you are good to go on what you need to do for the checkpoint, please give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat so that I know everybody's on the same page, okay? And while you are doing that, I'm going to share my screen again and leave the first table up there so you guys can copy that down into yours, all right? And if you get the first table copied down, I can at least give you a yellow, all right? So what I'm telling you is, like, I'm giving you half the checkpoint now. Please copy this down so that you can at least get a yellow here if you can't finish the whole thing. But should be able to finish the whole thing today if you use your time wisely. Yeah, no worries, Shabria. Okay, so when you do the second one again, and Shabria's just asking how to do the second one again because she was copying the first one, which is totally fine. Sorry. So you get the first one copied down. What you're going to do in the second one is click this link, all right? And then it should pull up this story by Sherman Alexie. And you don't have to worry about this part up here. This is just some kind of background. So you're going to start where it says first grade, all right? And you're going to read through this story, all right? Not a very hard story, not a very long story. It seems long because it's a lot of pages, but it's just broken down that way. And everything is really short, okay? And then as you read through, you're going to fill out this table. So what is the topic? What's the story about? Okay. And then, like I said, it's best to work backwards. So figure out the topic, then figure out the theme. Okay. What's the lesson? What's the moral of the story? What's the thing we're supposed to learn and take away? Put that here in a complete sentence, kind of like I did in the first one. All right. So, like a good theme statement. All right. Then you can work backwards and pick out, okay, what are the major details from the story that support the theme and make it true, just like I have up here, right? That's how you're gonna do the second one. And if you want more detail on how to do that, you can watch the class recording of last class, which I put the link to in the chat. Okay. All right. So good to go, Shabria. So anybody else with a question? That was a good question, Shabria. Thank you. Anybody else? Other questions? All right. No. If they do come up, put them in the chat. Right. Like I said, I'm gonna leave this shared up here so you guys can copy it down onto yours. Don't forget to submit request feedback on this when you finish. so I can check it and change the color on it. All right. Thank you guys. I'm gonna check back in a few. All right, just checking. Excuse me, just checking in here, ladies and gents. How we doing with this? Okay. Questions about anything? Questions about how to do the second part? Everybody finding this okay? I've only heard from a few people, which is okay, but so I can't be sure everybody is on the right page with this unless I hear from all of you. But I'm gonna assume if I haven't heard from you, you're good to go. Okay. So remember, you can copy the top table into your checkpoint, and then you're doing the second table yourself using the link right here. If you want to watch the class recording where I kind of go over how to do it in more detail than I did today, the link to that video is in the chat. All right. I'll put it in the chat again just so it is kind of fresh and not jumbled up with the other stuff. Right. So keep going on this. Again, I need this by 5 p.m. today. So if you have the time to get some of it done or all of it done now, please do so. I'm going to check back in a few, and then we'll kind of wrap up here for today. Thank you, guys. All right, y'all. Hey, Keon, thank you for joining us, even if it's just towards the end here. All right. So just a quick recap since Keanu, you're just joining us. We worked on today was just basically time to work on checkpoint 1, okay, which looks like this. You can find it on Summit. It's called Identifying Theme and Selection of Evidence. Under our project, Fact or Fiction should be the first thing you see, and then just click the link right here, and it should take you to the page that looks like this. Okay, the top part I have done for everybody. Okay, the second part you are going to do on your own using the story at this link. All right. You can watch the YouTube recording of the class where we kind of went over this top part together last week, and then, pause it and fill it out and copy what I have onto yours. All right. I'm going to put that into the chat one more time so that, Kian, you can have it as well. Okay. So there it is. All right. When you finish this, make sure you request feedback so that I can grade it, change your color. All right. I will be looking at these later tonight because I have to get my grades in for the progress report. So they can come out tomorrow. So again, I need this by 5 p.m. Okay. If you can't finish by then, even if you can just copy down the top part that I kind of did with everybody last class, I can at least give you a yellow for that, and then you can catch up later this week. All right. But like I said, I haven't gotten any in so far as of today. So hopefully I get some of these later on this afternoon. Okay. If you have questions about how to do any of it, I will be in the Summit Lab from 1 to 3. So please don't hesitate to come in there and ask me stuff, right? Or if you want to get some more kind of like one-on-one instruction with this. Okay. Ladies and gents, what I want everybody to do before we go is in the chat, I want you to put a 1 to 5 of your understanding with how to do the checkpoint and what to do by later today. 5 would be, I totally get it, no problem. I'm going to have it finished, no questions, right? 3 would be kind of like, I'm pretty good. I might have a question or two, but I think I can get it done. And then a 1 would be like, I'm pretty lost. I don't know. I might need some help in the lab or whatever. All right. So please put those in now. I got one from Kian. I got one from Nishan. Thank you very much. All right. Once I see your number in the chat, you guys are good to go. All right. Thank you. Stay safe. And I will see you again on Friday. All right. If you still haven't put a number in, make sure you do that before you leave so I know kind of where everybody's at. Again, 1 to 5 on your understanding of everything that's due with the checkpoint, okay, later today. So only have one in there from Nishan and Kian so far. So the rest of us, Janasia, Shabria, Quill, Tehran, throw one up there as well. Okay. And then once I see it in the chat, you guys are good to go for today. All right, y'all. If you are still out there and you haven't put your 1 to 5 in the chat, please do so now. I'm going to give it about another minute, and then I'm just going to go ahead and close out the chat today. All right. But again, if you do have questions, come see me in the Summit Lab. And don't forget, turn that checkpoint in by 5 p.m. today so I can get it in there for progress reports. Okay. I'll be sending out an email reminder to everybody as well. All right, well, since I haven't heard from anybody, I'm just going to go ahead and end the chat. Again, come see me in the lab if you have questions. And if not, I will see you again on Friday. All right, stay safe. Have a good weekend.